They all on my phone telling me we ain't gonna get our food stamps November. Let my shit not come on the 15th. Let my shit not come on the 15th, and I'm gonna show them why I went to jail twice.
This food stamp is pissing me off, and not for the reasons that you're probably gonna think. I receive EBT, or should, but of course today it didn't come through. But that's not something that I'm proud of, and I don't understand why anybody wants to be in a position where the government can go, "You're not eating today." Why would anybody want to live like that? And it's not like you can steal everything forever, so then you're gonna have to pay more. All of the dumbasses running are like, the government's paying my bills. Okay, well, now they're not. And now what the fuck are you gonna do?
It's November 1st. I didn't get no food stamps. Is anybody getting food stamps? And I don't want nobody panic buying groceries. I'm hearing people are buying groceries in a panic. Don't be buying 50 things of chicken breast, okay? Like, save some food for everybody else. Let's not be stingy here. Let's not do that.
All right, guys. If you haven't heard already, people are losing their shit because there are some big changes coming to the SNAP program, which is commonly called food stamps. First and foremost, there's changes to the age requirements for SNAP. So able-bodied adults, okay, people that can actually get up and go to work between 18 and 64 are now subject to the 3-month limit, which is an increase from the previous 54-year-old cap. So now, if you're between 54 and 63, you still got to go work if you're able-bodied. Remove exemptions to the 3-month time limit for veterans, which I don't know how I feel about that one personally yet. People experiencing homelessness and youth aging out of foster care have been removed. That one, I'll say my opinions for my opinions. Caregiver exemption. The exemption for caregivers of children applies to those who have kids who are under 14 and no longer under 16. So if you're 15 to 18 or 15 to 17, you got to get your ass out and work.
Dang, okay.
I know.
Okay, Coach Jay.
I'm doing this all for comedic effect. And let's see what else we got going on here. Eligibility benefits. Okay, there's a lot of immigrant stuff going on, as you probably are not surprised because of the current administration. I'm not giving my opinions on that, just saying what it says here. So some groups of illegal immigrants, including refugees, asylees, and survivors of human trafficking will lose eligibility for SNAP. I want to know more about that because I just want to know what the details of that are.
They all on my phone telling me we ain't gonna get our food stamps November. Let my shit not come on the 15th. Let my shit not come on the 15th, and I'm gonna show them why I went to jail twice.
That's enlightening. Seems like she's in a very good mood. Listen, I understand that people are struggling, so I'm never going to make fun of anyone who is struggling, but I don't like the sense of entitlement that she definitely has. Like, oh, if you're not going to do, like, if they're giving you money, like, what are you going to do about it? I don't understand, what would you do? Are you going to walk into a government base and do something that has armed security?
No, she'll probably walk into somewhere else and do something. That's what I was thinking.
What, Walmart?
I'm thinking she's going to go steal. Yeah, go pillage, rob, and steal. Yeah.
And then get arrested, and then you'll definitely get some free meals from that.
Exactly. 3 hots in a cot. I think that's what she's saying. She's going to show them why she was in prison. She did 2 bids, so to speak. And she's going to go steal something.
Well.
By the way, this is why, sometimes benefits like this get a bad rap. They get a stigma. It's because people like this who, like when people think of someone who's on food stamps, a lot of times they're going to think of maybe a lower income minority person who maybe behaves a certain way.
Yeah.
And she's not doing anything to help that perception.
At all.
Yeah.
Enforcing it.
Facts.
It's November 1st. I didn't get no food stamps. Is anybody getting food stamps? And I don't want nobody panic buying groceries. I'm hearing people are buying groceries in a panic. Don't be buying 50 things of chicken breast, okay? Like, save some food for everybody else. Let's not be stingy here. Let's not do that. We can't be being greedy and eating up all the food, okay? Now, I don't get food stamps. We pay cash for our stuff. And the last thing that I would be irritated is if I go to the store and there's no food. Like, because people are panically buying food. Like, don't be panically buying food. Let's not do that. Let's just buy what you need and get out the store. Okay? I don't know what they're going to do, what everyone's going to do with the food stamp situation, because there are people who probably need food. Like, that they get food assistance and they're not going to have it. So, I don't know what they're going to do. But the last thing that we need is people just hoarding food. Like people who have the money to buy it and they're investing in things that are going to perish, which is food. Like, why are you buying 50 things of chicken? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know what's to come, but the food stamps need to be given back. I don't know what's going on. And I really feel sad for people who are hungry. Like, they don't have the money to go out and get food. Like, that's really a lot right there.
So what do you think of that?
It's a bit exaggerated. And I also think that if you are someone who depends on food stamps as your main way of getting food, that you probably should stock up a little bit because you don't know how long this shutdown is going to last.
That's definitely true. I mean, you should definitely, but I can kind of see your point. You shouldn't be buying chicken. You should be buying canned food.
Yeah, non-perishables.
If that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's one of those things. So I live in an area that tends to get snowy weather, right? And it's the same thing. Whenever there's a snowstorm, people buy up all the toilet paper. They buy up all the toilet paper. And it's so obnoxious. It's one of those things that's so obnoxious because you know that someone's gonna buy all the toilet paper. You gotta get more toilet paper. So it's kind of like a cause and effect thing. It's like you might only want to get one piece of toilet paper, but because you know some a-hole's gonna buy like 10 pieces of toilet paper that they don't need, you know they're like, dang, okay, well they might not be restocked for another 2 weeks. Right. So then now you gotta get more.
Yeah, people. I mean, okay, so that's a fair point. I'll go off what you're saying too, because people go overboard.
Yeah, way overboard.
That's the thing. Like, that's why I understand why the system's set up how it is. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy and the sharpest tool in the shed, but you know, it just seems like people en masse just do stupid things. We all do it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're gonna go buy up 17 boxes of
cornflakes,
you know, or toilet paper or milk. And milk, I read
no milk. No, I'm sorry. You might be insane. You might be a full blown maniac if you buy like a million things of milk and you don't got like 18 kids. Right,
because milk is going to spoil very quickly.
Or unless you're like a chef or something like that, and you're making some meals and you're handing them out. But
that's fine. Yeah.
On some like I'm just gonna buy a whole bunch of milk.
It's just silliness.
That is insane.
Because even even with chicken, you can freeze it.
Yeah.
Okay, you can freeze it to a certain extent and it'll last months.
No one wants to do that, but yeah.
I'm just saying that if you were like a person that had to depend on food stamps, right? Okay. But sometimes I'm just like, man. So I see both sides of what's going on here.
Yeah.
By the way, we're coming from a position of, I don't want to say privilege. That sounds like such a overused word right now.
Not only that, but it also makes it seem like you're like super up here. Like,
right, we're not. Like, what I mean is, what I'm saying is we're not concerned about, we don't use food stamps.
Yeah.
We don't use SNAP.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you're someone who's in that
dependent on it,
yeah, it's easy for me to be like, oh, relax.
Yeah.
But if you have children, let's say, and you're dependent on food stamps, I can see how you might panic.
Yeah, and you don't know when when it's coming on because this shutdown's lasted very long.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, I can see both sides of it.
I mean, I think the part is just be rational, right?
Yeah.
Just be rational. Just pick up more canned stuff. You don't have to buy 18 pieces of chicken. Unless you got 18 kids. You got 18 kids, I'm like, all right, I'll leave you alone.
They only get one piece of chicken?
That's a good point.
See?
Maybe we might have to double that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they get 2 pieces.
At least they get 2 pieces. Come on, man.
2 pieces and some milk.
This food stamp is pissing me off, and not for the reasons that you're probably going to think. I receive EBT, or should, but of course today it didn't come through. But that's not something that I'm proud of. If you've been following me, then you know that last year I left a relationship. I have 3 kids. My youngest is special needs, and I'm homeschooling because their school got way too political. Now, when I left, I have no family, no friends, no one to call for help. So I had to apply for benefits. And like I said, that's not something to be proud of. And I'm not blaming anybody for the situation that I'm in. This is my responsibility, my fault. I should have waited until I got married to have kids. I was young and dumb and did stupid shit. And now this is where I am, and I'm trying my best to climb my way out of it. And I don't understand why anybody wants to be in a position where the government can go, you're not eating today. Why would anybody want to live like that? And then the people talking about stealing. I don't know if y'all have really thought this through.
So first of all, I want to commend her for taking responsibility. I definitely appreciate that. Because here's the thing, like I think people sometimes they do try to villainize people who use food stamps, but to be honest, it's people that really do need help. And I'm not against food stamps whatsoever. I'm just against the people that I know. There's people that I know and that abuse the system. They sell the food stamps to get other things that they don't need, and you know there are some people like I said. There's a group of those people who are dead set on never doing anything with their life and are completely fine with it. And I despise those kind of people because they make everyone's taxes go up, and no one likes a leech, right? No one likes a leech, but I do want to commend her for like taking responsibility and understanding that, you know, because I think that's one of the biggest things that I think that's one of those great qualities that you have in a good person is that someone can take accountability and see where they went wrong.
Yeah.
But if y'all go rob all the grocery stores, prices are going to go up. And then the people who have climbed their way into at least middle class that can pay for their shit all their prices are going to go up. But I don't think you've thought about either you're going to get your benefits back and they're going to run out faster because everything's going to be more expensive, or you're going to have to figure something else out. And it's not like you can steal everything forever. So then you're going to have to pay more. Okay. Not to mention, it's just morally wrong. As much as my kids are thriving in homeschool, as much as I don't want to, I might have no choice but to put them back in school. Unless I can find some kind of work from home job. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to all suggestions right now. I don't want to live like this. I don't understand why anyone wants to live like that. All of the dumbasses running are like, the government's paying my bills. Okay, well, now they're not. And now what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a trap. If I'm being honest with you, like if you get to a point where you're solely dependent on anything, that's a trap. Because once they cut it off, it's like what you said, you're cooked.
Yeah, she is the perfect example of what who the program was meant to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason the program gets a bad rap is because what you said a second ago. There are some people who make it a generational lifestyle. And they find ways to game the system to remain on the system, i.e. having more and more kids. Right?
Crazy.
Yeah. And I've heard stories of like single mothers, and I say single mothers because that's the stories I've heard. I don't know if single fathers have done it too. I don't know. But let's just say single mothers here in this example who have kind of taught their daughter how to use the system.
Ugh.
And so they stay on it and stay on it and stay on it. And by the way, you know what else that does? Like, for example, with another government benefit, Section 8.
Yeah.
There's a backlog in a lot of places for Section 8 around the country because, there's only but so many vouchers they can hand out.
Exactly.
One of the problems is people who should be using a voucher to better themselves and get off of it, they're not doing that. They're staying on it forever. So people that really need it, like maybe this person, I'm not saying she does, they have to wait in line and may never get the benefit. So that's why it gets a bad rap. And that's why, not to say that I'm agreeing with the administration, but the underlying thought behind what they're trying to do, I think, is make it to where the bad apples can't no longer abuse
They can't finesse it. Yeah, they're making it harder to finesse.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're doing it the right way, but that's, I think, the goal.
Yeah. And listen, it's sad because I personally know people that were on Section 8, and a lot of times they'd say like, listen, I make so much, I can't get above this level because then I'm going to lose it. So then they just stay at that level. But like I said, it's a trap because, so like, okay, I understand your rent's cheap, but because you're staying at this level, you'll never be able to enjoy stuff. Like to me, I'm like, dude, I have one life.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend it like just living just such a subpar.
Yeah.
Like you can't enjoy anything. Like what are you gonna enjoy if you just live your whole life like that? Like, and like I said, there are people who are in some very bad situations. I feel for them. I'm not talking about them people, but I'm talking about the people who have the ability to do something to change it. And then you just want to live your life right here, just barely above the line. Like that to me, and you know what? I actually had I actually took a class, and one of the things that I was talking about the class, I was trying to get into this one particular job. One thing that he said, he's like, man, you never want to live below the line. And he was just talking about like just going to work and about how there's some people who are just invisible when they show up to work. And it's like, yeah, they never get fired. A lot of times they don't get laid off, but they never reach anything exceptional. And he was like, that's such a poor life to live. Like, why would you want to live your life like that? Like, it's good. But he's like, the experiences I've had, and this was a guy who's very successful in his career. He was like, he wouldn't change it for anything in the world. But in order to get to that point, you have to put in effort. You have to be exceptional. And he was like, if I would have never did that and just stayed above the line, like my career, my trajectory would have been completely different. Like, I don't even know if I would have still been in the industry. And I was like, damn.
I hear that. I do want to make a point to what you just said too, because I do also understand. So I don't rock with the people that purposely stay below the certain line to continue getting these benefits. I'm with you. I do not rock with those people.
It's terrible.
It is terrible. Same time, that being said, I know folks who are what used to be considered middle-class income earners who earn just too much to qualify for these benefits. And maybe they wouldn't take them if they could.
Yeah.
But they're struggling. And, it sucks because they can't get these benefits, but they're also in a position to where they're not really earning. It's kind of like they're just on a hamster wheel.
Yeah, you're in that hard middle spot.
It's like,
where it's like you're not poor, but you're definitely not rich, and you're probably about 2 checks away from being at the point where you're poor.
That's it.
But it's like you could never. And like I said, that it's like what you said. You're on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
And you know this. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You know the sad part about that?
What?
Those folks So let's call it lower middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like lower, like poverty.
Yeah.
Then there's lower class, kind of like her in a
Yeah.
way. And then you have like middle, upper middle.
Yeah.
Sorry, lower middle. So lower middle folks are the ones that pay the most taxes to support these programs that they can't get benefit from. Think about that.
Yeah.
that's the crazy part. Because people that are like in upper middle to upper,
Yeah.
they legally find ways to pay less tax. And I'm not, this is not like I'm just saying what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a political thing, but
Yeah.
it's like, it's factual. That's why, like, when people say we got to tax the rich more, it never works. Because people have been trying to do that for years. It never works. And I'll explain to you why it never works. It never works because they've worked so hard to become rich. They've literally found ways to not pay full taxes. They literally have paid people full time to find ways not to pay full taxes. And you think that you're going to come and finesse them. They probably already know the people that are doing it, and they know how to undo it. So it's it's one of those things that's just not practical for me. Like I would, like, if you spent all your energy and focusing on having this large group who makes a lot of money pay a whole bunch, you're gonna be running in circles forever and forever, opposed to you just finding ways to get out. Like, it's easier to find ways to get out and to get over.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it'll probably service you more to be friends with those rich people and get them to get you a job, so that way you can get out.
No, it's true. I guess all I'll say is again, shout out to her, because, shout out to her.
She looked very serious.
She is very serious. Understandably so.
All right, decision makers. Let us know what you think about this situation. Do you think people are wrong for being on Snap, or do you think people, or do you think this government shutdown has lasted way too long? All right, decision makers. Don't get on Snap.
I mean, unless you need to.
Unless you need to.
Yeah.
Then you can be on.
Don't abuse Snap.
Don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Use it.
Use it.